I don't want to expose too much of the book, but on page 4 and 5, it points out that at a spot called Ebo Landing in South Carolina, Africans would walk back, metaphorically and symbolically home, and they would also fly back. Okay? This is significant. It shows you there are more than just other obvious connections between the Light Temple of Egypt and the Ebos and why bloodshedding is taboo. But page 7, if these people would have even taken the time to at least read the introduction before opening their fucking mouths about what they don't know about, they would see that I tell the truth. And if you go to the appendix, you would see the push kick toward the end of the book, which predates all other martial arts front kicks and begins in Africa. As part of the Light Temple philosophy, that's why it's called the crescent kick, the cosmological traditions and intangible heritage of my people, not yours. Now, I wear your gi, to give a little bit of homage in the spirit of martial arts traditions and in the absence of one of my own because of how much your peoples have taken the credit for mine to downplay that jiu-jitsu is useless compared to percussive arts when it comes to actual combat and self-defense. So when we go to page 7, it talks about certain fundamentals in the second paragraph, okay? And the kata of the Japanese, okay, refers to the ideal form of an art, okay? So it is a martial way, and it is an ideal form of how to remember your ancestors. So, but it is not the same as being the top martial artist. And it is like, saying that being a good storyteller versus being a great warrior is another way to look at it. If you switch from presentation to kata and include it under the greater presentation umbrella, if you will, or if you switch from some kind of demonstration and kata, under the greater presentation umbrella is another way to look at it. And it has nothing to do with being the top martial artist, because you have to apply that war art in actual war to remember your ancestors. And it points out on page, I believe, 162, that we beat these people and that they tried to ban 182, that they tried to ban our martial arts, and on 162, that the head of the top martial artist was chosen in single combat. You couple that with American culture not accepting this kind of activity, and bloodshedding being taboo, sparring becomes the default position, and you're very dishonorable for playing that off. And it goes on to say, thus, on page 7, thus, while the student in application may adopt variations on techniques more suited to his, her body, aesthetic sense, or experience, there's often a theoretically immutable point of reference that we've passed on to students. So my point of reference is not Japhethian, it is not European or Asian, it is African. Page 7 makes it clear that your application must fit your body type, what I've been saying the whole time. And this is me and a professor, with a PhD, specifically in the history of African studies and diaspora martial arts. So you people are wrong. I am the Skywalker, and I've pointed out that I have the world record, and I've given you people days to prove otherwise. You cannot. I've told you if you can beat me at sparring, I take my videos down, I take my meds. You couldn't do, or the eugenic pills you want to give me. You couldn't do it. Instead, you hide your disgrace because since 1997, one moment, I have made you pussies look horrible, and there were cops going to that school, UAMA, where they're not, some of them would even wear the Junior Woodchuck Pig uniform. 1997, United Academy of Martial Arts Grand Champion. They knew I was more agile and had more dexterity than they have for a long time. And they have been working against people like me in martial arts for a long time to make it in a way that gives the wrestler the upper hand. Do you really think it's fair to deny the people who invented martial arts their rightful place based on your satanic Greco-Roman twist, which we all know is propaganda bullshit? Do you side with propaganda presentation and fat, short idiots? Or do you side with tradition and the chosen tribe of God? It's that simple.